I know I need to size up with you, and when I defang the Viper, trust me, ain't gonna come from nowhere. Jeff, I already put you out. I don't even know why you're out here right now. Keep on talking. Hey, do me a favor. Why don't you act like this is an AA meeting and you shut your mouth while I'm sharing with the group? And Mustafa, you out here, a boy among men. And I'm gonna tell you what, you got lucky at the Rumble, so I know you're gonna come out here and run your mouth about how bad you are. But let me give you a little bit of a reality check. You see, Mustafa, you said that my eyes don't lie. Well, your eyes don't lie either, because last week, they were closed real tight when I put your simple ass to sleep. And AJ, hey man, be honest with me. How's our old girl Wendy doing?
Welcome back to the Clark Street Wrestling Podcast. It's me, Hafeez, and with me as always is Devin, and we are about to go over AEW Dynamite. Basically, we're just going to do a general discussion on AEW because it's been a little bit since we've been able to actually talk about AEW and wrestling in general. It took about the last 2 weeks of content has been piling up. So for everything wrestling, AEW, WWE, we're going to do some general conversation, general talks while we ramp up and get back on track and on the road to WrestleManias and the Stand That Delivers and AEW just continuing to build these storylines. So, but this one is going to be focused on AEW. And one thing that's definitely, that we wanted to talk about because we kind of, we're theorizing like, what is the name of this faction going to be? Like, what's this group going to be? So we finally do know what the name of MJF's faction is. It is the Pinnacle.
The Pinnacle.
The Pinnacle.
Pinnacle.
The Pinnacle.
Pinnacle. Strikes fear in a man's heart.
Not Pinnacle. The Pinnacle.
Pinnacle. Yes.
How are we? Is the Pinnacle a better name than, say, the Horsemen or some of the other ones that we were coming up with? Is this cool? How do you feel about it? How are you feeling about the Pinnacle?
Pinnacle.
Pinnacle.
That's gonna have to work on me. That's gonna take some time right there. It doesn't just roll off the tongue.
Yeah.
It's gonna take time.
Tough.
But same way, like even when on NXT when Adam Cole introduced Undisputed, even that when he said that we are the undisputed era, that even took time for me. I was like,
that's true. Yeah.
I was like, that's okay. And then now, undisputed era. It's like, okay, it just sounds so powerful now. So maybe they have to, build this up, build that name up right now. Because the Pinnacle doesn't do it for me right now. Not right now. Maybe in 3 months, we'll be like, oh, man, the Pinnacle, bro. Pinnacle.
Bro, you saying it like that, I'm like, oh, my God. It's just, I'm having a hard time. Like, really, truly believe it. I mean, you're doing a damn good job selling it right now. But that right there, when you ended it, man, like the Pinnacle, bro. Like, I'm like, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. So for me, I feel like, when they landed on the name, it was kind of funny the way they even named themselves the Pinnacle, or they came out and said, we're named the Pinnacle. Like, they didn't really, it was kind of subtle. Like, they were using the word, but they weren't really saying, like, this is our name. So I wasn't sure. I'm like, is that it? Is that it? Or is he going to say, yeah, no, it's not the Pinnacle. It's actually this other thing right here. Right. But then, this past week, I mean, obviously last week they said Pinnacle. And then this week they got the locker room and they got the little plaque on the door with the mountain. It was like, what was the Inner Circles is now the Pinnacles. And then they put the Pinnacle picture on the door. So now that's the Pinnacle's office. Yeah, I mean, it's going to take some time for sure.
Yeah.
It feels like
that logo needs some work. It look like ice. That Ice Water Mountain logo.
Oh, Ice Mountain? Like Ice Mountain logo?
Yeah, Ice Mountain. Yeah.
I thought like Paramount Pictures, like, the movie studio. There's so many things you could say, man. But you know what's funny though is I feel like it does fit MJF's like asshole character. Like it would be an asshole like him to just come up with a name like this that sounds goofy and douchey, but he's gonna sit here and try to sell us that it's the best damn thing since the NWO. Like this is some MJF type shit. Like it fits his snotty, I'm better than you, like attitude. Like I'm part of the Pinnacle, he's little ring and like it just feels like him. So good job for them finding the Pinnacle, some annoying name to fit this annoying character.
It sounds nerdy because you're saying Pinnacle.
Like just the way you say it, it feels like the letters just kind of make your body feel weird, like the Pinnacle, like
right. My voice shouldn't enunciate the words like that. The Pinnacle,
the Pinnacle, the Pinnacle. We are the Pinnacle.
Have you heard about the Pinnacle?
Have you heard about the Pinnacle? The top of the mountain, the tippity tip, top of the tip, top.
What did you think of MJF introducing the Pinnacle, and especially how he got on Spears?
I thought he did a good job with going down the list, going down the line of like breaking down how everybody how everybody stands out. With Spears, I don't even remember specifically what he had said, but I felt like, okay, I was waiting. I was like, when he gets to him, I'm curious how he's going to try to sell this man. Because, with FTR, you could say, like, yeah, best tag team in the world with Tully Blanchard. Right. He's a legend.
They want to go, too. Already.
Yeah, Warlow, the War Dog, don't want to mess with him. Cool. But when it comes to Shawn Spears, it's like, yeah, but he beat it. Yeah, he did. But yeah, Shawn Spears is like, what is he gonna say about Shawn Spears? What the hell has Shawn Spears done? Like, how are you gonna sell him? And I think what I remember is, the chairman, he'll take a chair to your head or something if you say the wrong thing or whatever. Yeah. I'm like, okay, I guess that's true.
We haven't did that in a while.
What I was gonna say, he had to go all the way back to that first storyline he had with Cody.
We'll take it way back.
He's done nothing since then. That just kind of showed like this man has been invisible since he first debuted and had that botched chair shot back when AEW basically first started. So, it was what it was.
I don't remember too much when he was talking about Shawn Spears looking like Randy Orton back in the day wearing that Evolution suit wannabe. They both was wearing like these open collared suits, wingtip shirt. But I'm like, who wears that now? This ain't 2003, 4. My guy, all readjusting like this as MJF going back and forth. I'm like, man,
they're going back. I feel like it's all an homage to the Horsemen. Like they're trying to be that group that like you dress with the the collars, and the suits, and Shawn Spears just don't want to wear just do the whole. I don't know, man. It just seems you're right. Like it feels dated. Like that look did feel dated, but
they need
it
to
was
dress
what it
better.
was.
They need to go back to the go hook up to the Modern Men shop, see what's up, talk to the dude and the old man.
But I think it was just Shawn Spears, honestly. I think the rest of them looked great. I think they look great.
Even FTR navy blue suits, blue suits. I wasn't feeling it, man. Open wing button. I'm like, that's old, man. Go for that more fitted style.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Even like Seth Rollins got away with a turtleneck. My guy, and he still looked clean.
In wrestling, I feel like the suit game for some of them, like some of the wrestlers got it, and some of the wrestlers don't. And just I think they're trying to get into this, and they're just starting. Let's give them some time. Let's get just some MJF. Maybe he'll start to rub off on the rest of the crew. And he gets them some suits. Yeah, some pointers on the suits. But I'm not gonna get too far into that. So, but are you excited for the Pinnacle? Like for what they could do, for what their future is? Like, are you excited?
I'm glad you said it. Are you excited for the future? I am.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm curious for Shawn Spears, how his outlook because the way he's been packaged, before has been dismal. We can say as, what was the first, why did you leave WWE in the first place? There was no reason right now because you didn't show in that almost 18 months you have been in AEW, bro. So now, hopefully, we get to see how he's going to be packaged from being built within the Pinnacle. FTR, you already know what you're going to get. It's just going to be a good rub. Wardlow, now he's part of a legit faction instead of just being of Inner Circle. Plus Wardlow, now Wardlow is stamp approved, part of a faction. This is a slow build for him to be that single star. Cool, he's the future. Tony Blanchard, what more can you say? Former Horseman, you know what I'm saying? He got the mind, he got the intellect, and he gets his hands dirty too. Love it. You know what I'm saying? So I like the outlook for MJF, the Pinnacle's future. Pinnacle.
The Pinnacle.
Pinnacle. I have to straighten up my shirt, my tie.
Right.
Pinnacle.
See, maybe. It just fits. MJF, it fits him. It fits him. We'll see. The rest of the group, we'll get them. We'll get them together. Get the suit game going. We'll see what happens there. I'm excited to talk about Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa, man. This is what we've been asking for. So I feel like we gotta talk about this.
Yeah.
So finally, like The Rock would say, finally, we had the women take center stage in AEW in a big way. The lights out match from 2 weeks ago.
By the way, we had 2 women's matches in here that night.
That's right. That's right. So hey, clap. We got 2. We're getting there. We're getting there. We
put some respect on it.
We're getting it. Yes. So, but here we had as the main event, Thunder Rosa, Britt Baker, DMD. Lights out match, unsanctioned. It won't count towards the records, but we had it. And yes, this matchup was something special. It was cool because, once again, finally to see the women get that shine, but also what they did with that shine. To go out there and have a great matchup and just prove, again, why we're saying they should be showing more of women's wrestling, because this is what we've been held away from. This is what we're not getting to see. Is them. The less you show them now, it kind of feels stupid. It's really, look at how good this is. What are you guys doing?
Yep.
So yeah, man. I mean, seeing Britt and Thunder go at it, or Thunder Rosa go at it. Just great hardcore wrestling in general, going through tables, using ladders. The blood was shocking to see them blading and doing that and just selling it, and just the Crimson Mask. Both of them, were busted open. But Britt Baker, though, her Crimson Mask was something there's something about her and the way that she sells that, and she goes with it, and she has a evil smile on her face. That
smile, yes.
Yeah. It was maybe, a year ago when she had that injury, she got busted open, and you just saw her.
Was she went against
I think it was with Sheeta. Yeah. Well, accidentally she broke her nose, but then there was blood everywhere, and she's smiling and laughing, and this chick is crazy. And I dig it. I'm into this. This is awesome.
Yeah.
And now again, with Thunder Rosa, just blood everywhere. It was getting into her eyes, and she couldn't see, and she's wiping. At one point, you had Reba, who used the sleeve of her shirt to kind of try to help clear the blood off.
I like that.
It kept coming down.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good added touch there.
It was awesome. It was awesome to see just them use that and then just help with the impact. It was great, man. So just more pleas of just these 2. And I didn't even mention the thumbtacks, man. The thumbtacks that they used. Did not expect them to go. They didn't even need
what is
it.
this? What they doing? What is that? What is in that bag? Legos? What is going on? What is she about to take out?
Yeah. Dude, man. It was just crazy. And to see that, I'm wow, they're doing this. And the power bomb on top of that, of all moves to take. I mean, any move on thumbtacks is crazy. You giving me a power bomb?
The tease with it back. I'm who's going to take it? Was Thunder Rosa going to take the bump? Or Britt Baker? And then Thunder Rosa had her in the... It's just... Boom! I was
No selling needed. It's just you just react. You just react to getting power bombed onto some thumbtacks. Like, what more can you say? Yeah, man. But yeah, man, just speak on it, man. How you feel about this matchup?
This is like, all right, we finally took the handcuffs off the women and we let them do their own thing. And this is what you get. You get a masterpiece of storytelling, brutality, and a great finish. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it sucks to get to be unsanctioned. Doesn't really count in the records.
It counts.
It should count. Right. It should count because I love the finish from Thunder Rosa when she was done. She was like, "This is my women's division." I was like, "Ooh," and you felt that shit, man. You know, and man, this is. I think this is like a good rivalry between these two. Like, they feed off each other well. They have a good back and forth. They have a good story. Like, you can use this as if they was to bump heads later in the future, and you can use this match to go back to as a story element right here, as a good foreshadowing piece to tell that story. Like, so this match was everything, man. I loved it, bro.
Yeah. No, I couldn't agree more, man. Couldn't agree more. And, you know, it feels like it's not completely over because, again, it's in the record books. Technically, it doesn't count, even though for us fans, like, we saw it, we loved it, and, you know, we won't forget it. But there is a little bit of unfinished business there for them, and I could see this continuing on. And I would love for this to be for the title. I would love for this to be for the AEW Women's Championship, like, to add that element when they fight next. I think that is that next level to just have one of them be champion, and boom, just like that's the only way we can go up from here, man. It's just add that title. Maybe it could be the NWA Championship too. I wouldn't mind that, but the AEW Championship, like, Sheeta, she's great. I love her. I think she's doing a great job, you know, and especially recently, you know, she's been picking it up a little bit and she's been showcased more, so that's cool.
Being seen on television, she was looking at the match, looking at the match between Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa. So she's been shown. I like that. You know, it's subtle, but it's still good. At least she's been seen on television with the belt.
Exactly. So, you know, definitely, I feel like she's been doing a great job, and I still see her holding on to it for a little bit longer, but eventually I see one of these two women, either Britt Baker or Thunder Rosa, taking that belt from her, and then, you know, their feud continuing on as, you know, a championship feud now. I think that would just be the next thing to just really take this women's division to the next level. Let me ask you this question real quick.
Yeah. Whoever takes the belt off of Sheeta, either Britt or Thunder Rosa, but whoever, you know, in that women's division, are there made women then? Because it's the way she'd have been holding it down. Yeah. Even though it's been like, you know, she's a good run. Yeah. You know, lately it's been a good run. But yeah, man, what's your thoughts?
I think Sheeta has just, you know, built up that championship to a great level. And even though there have been some bumps in terms of just her not being on television, just her not showing up, you know, when she does show up, I mean, she's doing her job, man, and she's doing it well. And so I think she's held it. She's held that title proudly and built it up better than any of the other women that held it before, you know, not knocking them, but it's just the truth. She's been the best at it, and she's held it for the longest time. Like, now, whoever wins, it's like the transfer of power there is just so huge. You know, like, you're not just, this isn't, oh, you know, we're playing hot potato with the title and it doesn't mean anything. Like, this thing, the last champion has held this thing forever, and you were able to beat her. Wow. Like, kudos to you, to whoever is able to do that. It's like in NXT with Walter. Whoever takes that belt off of that man, or Kaylee Ray in NXT UK, whoever takes the belt off of those two, holy shit, that is going to be crazy. Like, I'm going to be shocked.
Good point.
You know, so that's kind of how this is going with Hikaru Shida too. She's been champion for so long, so that transfer of power, whoever does that, it's going to be like, wow, it actually happened. Shida actually lost. We have a new champion, and hopefully they do it right. Yeah. You know, and it's a great match, and it's just one of those where it's like classic matchup, title changes hands, boom, elevate to the next level.
I guess the way I've been looking at it before is that she didn't have stories against, challengers for the belt, but her story has been she's been a fighting champion. That's her story, keeping it for a lengthy reign so far too. That's another added caveat to the story as well. So as I look more on that side, I see. I see a better outlook for Shida as being a champion.
Yeah, man. Agreed. Let's talk about Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. All right, so so this story is, I think, getting to a good point for me right now with just Kenny basically coming out and saying, "Hey, I didn't choose AEW. I chose you guys. Like, I came here because of you. Because I believed in you. I believed in this." Right. And so, I like that, like Kenny putting that personal touch on it to say how he feels betrayed by them not choosing him. They never chose him, but he chose them. And so, him putting out that ultimatum, like, look, this is it. You got one last chance. Put him up, damn it. Like, give me that respect. Let's go. And, for the Young Bucks, it's like, okay, this dude, has not been acting right for a while now with us. And, he's got the Good Brothers kind of hanging out with them. And Don Callis is saying they're his best friends. And they're making a fool of us, like, oh, we're going to be in a tag match. Nope, it's going to be the Good Brothers instead. Just like little things left and right that Don Callis has been doing to kind of nudge the Young Bucks away from Kenny. Yeah. And now here we go, and we're really starting to make it personal with Kenny putting out that ultimatum and then the Young Bucks turning their back on Kenny again. So where do you think this storyline is going, though? Because for Kenny and the Young Bucks, like, it's not like I'm not expecting Kenny to go against Matt or Nick, in a matchup. I feel like it's the Good Brothers that makes the most sense. Maybe, on a Dynamite, but like pay-per-view build, like I'm a little confused as what the match is that we're building towards for Kenny. I feel like it makes more sense that it's the Good Brothers, but they weren't even a part of that promo. It was really about Kenny and Young Bucks. So how do you see this playing out?
I think this helps Kenny's heel character. I think this is what is needed for him to sever the connection with the Young Bucks to solidify him as that top heel for AEW right now, because that's how I see him now. He's the top wrestler, but he's the top heel character too. Yeah. So top heel character. All right, Young Buck is seen as face of tag team wrestling or just one of the faces of AEW. They're one of the top faces, so he can't be seen because it's kind of now he's an extension of that, of what they're called the Elite. So he has to sever that connection. So I think that's why I see this story is building up to, of severing a connection with the Young Bucks so he can solidify his character as being a top heel.
Okay. Yeah, I asked that question because I didn't know the answer, and I'm not, I like what you're saying about just like this really being about just establishing him more so as his heel character, and him severing that connection and just being like, okay, now it's, that Elite part of me is dead. Like I'm something different now. I'm something else. So, I like that. Okay, cool. So now, one other thing with Kenny that I think is interesting is, on the AEW side, they're not mentioning anything about this major matchup he's going to have with Rich Swann, where, it's him, Rich Swann, one-on-one, title for title, Impact Championship on the line, AEW Championship on the line. This is happening April 25th or something like that, towards the end of April, so well after Mania and all that. But, it's weird to me that they have this crossover going on, and you have the champion from Impact getting ready to go against the champion of AEW. This would be something kind of cool to put on AEW Dynamite.
Right.
But nothing. Like, they are not saying no promo, no nothing. I don't get it. So what's your take on that? Like, do you think it's just, hey, We're just going to help. All right, we already know the deal on AEW side. Kenny's not losing anything. So we're not even going to bother like promoting this thing. He's just going to win. He's going to show up one day with the Impact Championship or not. Maybe we just won't even acknowledge that that's happening. Like, it's not canon. It's just happening.
Oh, my God. That would just be a bad look then, man. Like, then what are we
if you're not marketing it, then what's the point
I
of
know.
doing the
You're
match?
supposed to be helping each other out because he's on Impact.
Yeah.
But I heard that Impact had like one of their lowest attendance for Twitch, even though with Kenny, and it's one of their lowest viewership numbers just past Tuesday or last Tuesday. I forget, but I remember seeing that article though. It is out there, so that I'll say on that. So I don't know, because of that they don't want to mention about the fight, but I'll even be confused from that. If I saw that, I would just take that as, well, you need to promote it then. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's watching it.
Well, and also, too, like, if you promote it on AEW, I would maybe want to go see how, like, let's say you have part of the storyline happen on AEW, it would make me want to see Impact to be like, oh, wait, what's happening? Just like when Kenny and Don left, when Kenny beat Jon Moxley for the title and said, I'm going to let you know what's happening on Impact. Like, that made me want to see that next episode of Impact. Yep. So same thing here. Like, you have Kenny and Rich Swann. Have Rich Swann show up on AEW, you know, and they get into a scuffle, whatever, and then Don's like, you want to know what we're going to have, what our response is? You're going to have to tune into Impact. And then I got to go check out Impact to see the next level of the next
time on
chapter.
Dragon Ball Z.
Right. But only viewable on Impact.
Right.
Like, if you're going to do this crossover, you might as well do the crossover to like half do it where it's like, yeah, on Impact, they're getting all the love from, you know, having Kenny show up all the time and Kenny and Rich Swann are interacting. But on AEW, it's like, Rich Swann who? You know, the way that they're treating it is weird.
Like Snyderverse? No. I've never heard of it.
Yeah, right.
Joss Whedon, yeah.
Yeah, right. That's not.
That's
we don't acknowledge that. We will not acknowledge that. No, you guys can have your fun with that, but we ain't acknowledging it, man. Which, by the way, for the listeners, just to make it clear, saw the Snyder Cut of Justice League, and hey, from me, 2 thumbs up. That thing right there, it is
elbows,
awesome.
Toes, fingers, all of them, bro, are up.
Oh my goodness,
Yes.
just great. If you have not seen it, check it out. I was shocked. I had low expectations for what.
Yeah, I asked you about this. You was like, bro, I have very low expectations.
Low, yes. I did not want to get hyped. I did not want to believe like, oh, it's gonna be better. Yeah, okay. Well, I'm just gonna prepare for the worst, and if it surprises me, cool. And it did. And I've seen it now 5 times, so yes, you can.
It's a different movie. Just
it's a totally different movie.
Usually when you get a cut, it's usually what 80-90% the same. Yeah. This was 80-90% different.
This was different. This felt like I was watching a different movie. Yes,
different contrast.
The color grading was different.
Yes,
the music, the score was different. The
cinematography was just different.
Whole aspects of the story are different. The ending is actually different than it was
Amazonians
last time.
Are beasts. Every single female. They're the 300 of DC. That's them.
Yeah. So gotta give it up, man. Kudos to Zack Snyder and the team for bringing us this, and kudos to the fans who petitioned and asked for this and made this happen. So I'm happy to be able to say that I saw it and loved it. And yeah, I'm gonna probably watch it another time.
Maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow. Yeah.
Dude. Yeah, man. It's great. It's great. It was definitely a lot of fun. But, just to say like, hey, that I treat as like, that's the real like continuation of the DCEU. But for AEW and Impact, they're acting like all that stuff going on with Rich Swann and like that's just, for AEW, that's on the cutting room floor. They cut all that context out. It's like, and I want the Snyder Cut. I want the cut that is going to show all of that. Put that on AEW, damn it.
Give me the Snyder Cut.
I want the Snyder Cut. I want it all. Give me all that content. Don't just have it going on that other show, man. Like, put it on Dynamite, and then let's have a true
Such a missed opportunity, man. Especially like for Rich Swann to show up with the 2 titles because he won it from Moose as well. So that would be a good look for him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Golly, man. Yeah, I don't.
Come on, AEW.
Seriously, they gotta fix that.
They're taking advantage of the little man, huh?
Yeah.
Let's play big. Let's play big bank. Take little bank.
Right. Oh man. Let's talk about the main event from this past Dynamite 2. So Darby Allin versus John Silver for the TNT Championship. So this matchup here, definitely a lot of fun. It was really cool seeing Silver go for the TNT Championship. And Silver's great, man. Like, the more I see Silver, the more I'm just like, this guy, he's got so much charisma. He's a great wrestler. He's got it all, man. Like, short stature, like, it is what it is. But overall, man, big heart. And, yeah, Johnny Hungy, man. Like, those arms. Dude. He's great.
Yeah.
He's great. So, love John Silver. Then Darby Allin, I felt like this was good. Darby Allin made a comment. He was like, he's been champion for so long, but he's only had so many title defenses, and it pissed him off. Like, people were cheering, and he's like, no, I'm sick of that. That's ridiculous. The fact that I've only had like a handful of title defenses, and I've been champion for a couple months now. This is ridiculous. He wants to be a fighting champion. He wants to put the belt on the line. He'd already faced Scorpio Sky. Now he's going against John Silver. He opened up the open invitation to Dark Order, and Silver was picked by the team. So this matchup happened. And yeah, man, it didn't disappoint. Unfortunately, it looked like John Silver actually did get hurt during the matchup. He's going to be out
for a few weeks. He doesn't need any surgery, but he's going to be out for 3 to 4 weeks that he tweeted out.
All right.
At least.
So, yeah, man, that sucked. That sucked to see, because you could kind of tell, like, ooh, this doesn't feel like he's just like a work. Like, he's not just selling here. Like, he's actually bothered by this arm. So, that sucked to see. But overall, still a strong matchup. Shout out to him for gutting it through that injury. Yeah. And Darby Allin, man, getting a win, a win in the title defense. Like, it's good to be able to rack up those wins. So, what you think of this, man?
Oh, I loved it, man. I liked the whole story of, he kicked that open invitation to the Dark Order. And that would be my question. So since John Silver didn't win it, so does somebody else from Dark Order step up too? So does he go through the whole Dark Order until he gets to, Adam Hangman Page? And so I'm just trying to see, what is there a build from this, or is it just an open invitation?
I think it was just an open invitation to kind of just honor Brody Lee, and he wanted. I feel like it was just kind of a one and done when it comes to the Dark Order, but it'd be interesting if he did kind of like run the gauntlet with the Dark Order a little bit. I think more of the issue that he has is with Scorpio Sky. I think that's not done. I feel like we're gonna see him come back and eventually challenge Darby again, and probably be the guy to take the belt from him. When it's all said and done. I think Darby will have a couple more title defenses, but in the end, it'll be Scorpio Sky via heel tactics to go ahead and become TNT champion eventually. But yeah, near future, that might be a good way to kind of help Darby rack up some wins and add to his resume.
Yeah.
Overall, to have him go against the different members of Dark Order in the meantime, though, I think that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, I could see maybe Stu Grayson be next in line, because I love Stu Grayson. I love how that dude is a scrappy wrestler, man. Overall, he's a very good general wrestler. Like, he can do high flying, he's a good striker. He's very aggressive, kind of stout, but he's like he's more flexible. So yeah, if he's be the next wrestler to come up, that would be cool, man.
Yeah, man. I think that'd be cool too, man. I totally agree. Last couple things I want to mention.
Yeah.
Tay Conti. Yeah. So she had I was surprised by the ending of this matchup, but I'm not surprised that she did such a great job. So getting this win here in this matchup here, it was Nyla Rose. There we go. Blanked out for a second there. Nyla Rose, first of all, the match itself during the matchup, was great. Like, Tay, you could see she had an intensity about her that was just a little bit different than what we had seen from her before. So that was cool. Like, she just went at her and she would scream, and go at her in the corner, forearm, and just trying to just break down Nyla Rose. And you can see, like, Nyla Rose was like, okay. And she tried to take her out a couple times, like did that move where she goes to the top rope and, like, knees her in the back of the head. And commentary was like, man, like, why does Vicky let her do this? And they were like, well, what do you mean? Vicky probably loves this because she destroys people with this move. So they were going back and forth on commentary, which was cool. But really, Tay Conti, I was rooting for her. I was like, man, how great would it be if Tay Conti won this matchup? And then she pulled off that DD tie is what they're calling it. The DD tie.
The DD tie.
DD tie.
Or DD tie. Or tie, yeah.
I think they said DD tie, but her name is Tay Conti, unless they're going with Ty Conti now. I don't know. But her DDT, which looked vicious when it happened because Nyla ended, like, she landed on the crown of her head. I was like, whoa.
One,
that looks
two,
like.
I was like, three. Yeah. I was like, oh, shit. She got the dub over Nyla. Yeah. Okay, I see you. Yeah. I see you. Man, bro, and she looked good.
She did, man. And what stands out, too, is that she was ranked number 1 going into this matchup for the women's division. Mm-hmm. So being ranked number 1 going in and then going against Nyla Rose, I'm like, are they going to have Nyla Rose just kind of like take the number 1 spot from her and try to set it up to where she's going to go against, Shida or something? Like, what are they going to do? But no, they had Tay Conti win the matchup and kind of prove like, hey, this is why she's ranked number 1 right now. So that was pretty cool. So I like that. Then we did have some shenanigans after the matchup. Yeah. We had, Vicky Guerrero and Nyla Rose kind of jump on Tay Conti. We had the bunny also come out because Shida came out to back up Tay. And then the bunny came out, and then Matt Hardy said, that whole, Women's Eliminator Cup matchup was a sham. It was a sham. And it was a sham because the bunny wasn't even in it. Like, she's basically just putting her over. And, I like that because that is a good point. Like, why wasn't the bunny a part of that? That's another woman that could have been in that matchup, but whatever. So now we're kind of, even building a little bit more, showing more of the women in the division. Yeah. I think they got a strong division. I really do think they have the pieces there. It's just showcasing them, I mean, so here I feel like this matchup, good matchup overall, great for Tay or Ty Conti, and just overall, just having her get that dub as the number 1 ranked woman right now for that AEW championship is great. It's great,
man. Beautiful storytelling, like to your point, showcasing, the reasons why she's the number 1 ranked fighter, and then won against Nyla Rose, man. Mm-hmm. That was the finish was shocking, man. With that, and it was a good sequence too. She was doing like that, those kicks, and then she did that DDT, and man, bam! I was like, holy shit! It looked like that looked like a finish, but let's see.
It looked like
1, 2, 3. I was totally like, this looks like a finish. Let's see what we get, and it was. So good look.
Yeah, man. So that was great. So shout out to them. And then also to Team Taz, man. What's going on? What's happening? What is happening? Brian Cage, who better, seems to be having a...
Ricky Starks ain't feeling this shit, man. I love Ricky Starks, man. That man was like, he had to eat that shit. Like, we good? Like, we good. Yeah, we good. Copacetic.
Yeah,
man. Brian Cage do better.
Yeah, right. Because, he's like, we're all good. Taz going 1 by 1 through everybody. Like, we good. Everyone's like,
I've seen good because he was like, bro, I'm chilling. I'm good.
I ain't got no problems.
Right.
They got to Brian Cage, and he was the one guy that he didn't say he's good. He just said, hey, man, who better? Like, okay, all right. So, I guess Brian Cage face turn. Brian Cage is leaving the group.
He was giving what the week before that he was giving Sting or Stinger Man a lot of praise during that cinematic match. He was like, hey, you're a tough SOB and all of this. And that's like, what are you doing? Oh, we gotta talk. We gotta talk. So maybe a little dissension. Maybe face turn for Brian.
Yeah, man. Which seems weird, to say out loud, but hey, man, I mean, I guess they're trying to shake things up a little bit.
Yeah, it just came totally left. I was like, what
out
of
nowhere.
Right. No, I gotta get something off my chest. This thing, you know what I'm saying? You're a good guy, you're a great guy. You showed me that you could really hang with the best. I'm like,
is this man saying what we think he's saying?
Right.
Hold on.
What the fuck is going on?
Man, give me that microphone. Man,
right.
we'll talk to you later.
Taz, Ricky Starks was like,
Right. Dude, man. So, yeah, it's interesting.
Maybe this can work because they're trying to build Ricky Starks up, too.
I was going to say, I feel like this will help.
Because I feel like this is like Ricky Starks stands out to me. You kick Bryan out, let Ricky Starks be the leader, star of the group. Taz be on the mic, but you really don't need the mic for Ricky Starks. That dude
you don't.
That dude can speak for days, bro.
Yes.
This dude can talk. So I would just like to see more of him on the mic, if anything, man. You know what I'm saying?
100%. I agree. Yeah. I think that Ricky Starks kind of stands out a little bit more, just like you said. And to kind of promote him, in this way, it makes sense. So Brian Cage on his side, just leaving the group, I could see him just being solo, but he still needs development in terms of just the mic work, because I feel like we haven't heard much from him on the microphone, because Taz always talks for him. So it'll be interesting to see him or hear him, hear his own voice more, going against Team Taz. But for Ricky Starks, I feel like this is money, man. This is great for him. So definitely looking forward to what happens here. It's like this is probably the most interested I've been in Team Taz, since they started. Really, Right. Oh man. So I guess the last thing would be just in general, the Lucha Bros have been kind of on fire recently, man. We had Penta going against Cody and just cutting these promos on Cody and his unborn child and just being a badass and showcasing hey, you guys know me. Maybe some of you know me as a singles guy, but as a tag team guy. But you know what? I can do singles too, and I can come out here and I can entertain. And then who's this guy that's doing the translation for him? Because I thought he was just a regular.
BTE. Yeah, usually he's on BTE doing these bits called the somewhat Spanglish bits, they mix with Spanish and English together. So I seen him on in that type of environment, but this was cool outside of this because he was all into this. He was like, Penta says. Big old smile on his face, you can't wait to say what Penta says.
Dude, man, it's crazy. So I like what's happening with Penta. Obviously, Ray Phoenix, he is just the top 2 wrestler in the world, just showcasing his talents every week on Dynamite.
It's too damn good. He's just he's too fucking good for no reason.
Ridiculous, man, ridiculous. And then we had Laredo Kid, come in and just it's just the dude is just great. You know what I'm saying? He did a great job. He picked up the victory. He's the one that got the pinfall at the end. Yep. It was cool when Kenny showed up though, and he was like, "Yeah, I remember you. This takes me back," and just kind of gave him a couple kicks to the chest for good measure. But yeah, man, I feel like there's some great things happening. So I just wanted to briefly just mention them real quick, just to say, hey, Penta, we see you. Ray Phoenix, we see you guys are doing great, and I want to see more. I want to see more of them in this vein too. And I don't know. It's unfortunate that Pac looks like he got hurt again. So that whole tag team matchup is kind of on hold. Yeah. So that's why we haven't gotten it yet. But they might just want to go ahead and say, hey, let's do this with Ray Phoenix. Pick a new partner. Have somebody else, represent. I mean, and Penta being the guy,
Lucha Bros. There you go.
That's the tag team that should have been. They should have been tag team champions by now. They should have been.
There's a lot of tag teams should have been champion by now.
Right.
Let's not go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, I mean, Jurassic Express is another one that I feel like they're
Santana
destined.
Ortiz. They should have been.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah.
I thought they was going to do something after that. Parking lot brawl. I'm like, oh shit, that was one of the best brawls I see, but nothing. But
Right.
I digress.
So yeah, man. But that pretty much hits everything that I wanted to talk about from AEW. I mean, is there anything else that stood out for you, or you want to just, cap it there?
Man, the big announcement as well that include Cody Rhodes' new show, reality-based show.
Oh,
him involving Brandy.
Oh yeah, talk about this. What's
man.
On?
So it look like it's like, but you get to see behind the scenes, the lives of Cody Rhodes and Brandy at home, but also dealing with the corporate life, the work life of AEW. Balancing between work life and family life. So it look like it's good, man. It's a good casual. I think it's a smart move, marketing wise or branding wise, because you get those casual fans, people who like reality-based shows, get to see what this is all about. It's on TNT. It's a good network flagship show. So I see good things from it. Nothing bad to say about it.
I see it's interesting. It's always like whenever you get a chance to see behind the scenes, I think it's kind of cool seeing their real lives and all that. I think I'll just go ahead and say it. Like, for someone who's already kind of feels like they're overexposed, for them to have a reality show now, it's kind of like, wow, like you just you are clearly the face of the franchise, and you are about to get way overexposed now. But
do you think this is all right, oversaturating?
I think for some people Cody, it's gonna be like, yeah, I'm done. Like I'm done with Cody Rhodes. For some people, for me, I don't take it so far as to say like I'm out. But I do feel like it just has to be said that there is gonna be a segment of people, and at times we've talked about it too, and we've been critical that and for me it's always been about the women's division and the fact that I want more matches from the women's division. And Cody Rhodes keeps showing up, and some of the matches he's having is like, does this even need to happen? Like, couldn't they just shift that time? So for this, I feel like there is a danger of him feeling too overexposed. But I think a reality show, it's a great opportunity. Now, it's funny because they already kind of have a bunch of reality shows on YouTube. Like the Being the Lead, and Sammy Guevara has his thing going on. So
even Brandy, shot with Brandy, but she can't do that anymore because she's pregnant. But even at that time, she had that reality-based cooking show. Other wrestlers interviewing him at the same time. So I get your point.
Yeah. So I look at it like I will check it out, give it a chance, and I think it'd be cool to see like another side of them, just like. Just not. Obviously, wrestling's gonna be a part of it, but to see a little bit more of them, just normally, like on a regular day, like what that looks like for them, and then like you said, balancing the business side of AEW, running AEW, and it might, even though, like I said, there is that chance for overexposure. It could also give people an appreciation for all the hard work he's doing behind the scenes.
I think so.
So that's the positive of it, and that could be a great way to. For those people who are like, oh man, like too much Cody, they could look at it and say, well, damn, he's busting his ass, and he's a big reason why we have what we have.
And TNT loves him. They show that they love him. He was just on the Big Show. You know what I'm saying? How much marketing goes into that? The promos, the commercials for that. And you see Cody, and now you got not Brody, but now you have the Brandy and Cody Rhodes new reality-based show. So
I think I feel like, and again, I just brought it up because I feel like that's the elephant in the room, for any conversation with Cody getting more of anything right now. But, overall, I feel like big picture though, just remember back when Cody was in WWE and it was like, he wasn't getting anything, and he was busting his ass and just nothing. Yeah. Like it just sucked to see, a talent like that, especially now looking at it like, wow, WWE had him and they did not utilize him to the best of his abilities. It's just crazy to think about. So man, I mean, so this is him just kind of, it's an opportunity for him to kind of stick it back at them and say, yeah, you had me and you don't, and I'm doing my own thing and I'm happy. And like missed opportunity for you guys. You had a homegrown guy who's been a WWE, lifer through the Rhodes family, and you missed that opportunity, let him go, and now he created your competition. Like, it's just, It's wild to think about, man. So I don't know. I feel like the reality show, cool. Let's see it. Let's see what goes on, and maybe we'll bring it up from time to time on the show here. We'll see.
Yeah, we might. We see something spectacular.
Right.
We do watch our shows and the other shows.
Right. Exactly. So, all right, man. I think that's probably a good place to cap it here because we got a lot more to talk about. We do. When we talk about our we got a kind of a preview show for the two WWE pay-per-views, the 2-night events, NXT Stand and Deliver, and WWE WrestleMania nights 1 and 2. We're gonna be talking about that here in a little bit. Yeah, man, it's got a lot of wrestling content. If you're a wrestling fan, my goodness, it is gonna be a hell of a time.
It is going down.
Early April is gonna be just an amazing time for.
This is our third WrestleMania. As the show.
Third WrestleMania. Yep.
Third.
That's it. Yeah, you're right.
3.
That's third. Yep. So it's gonna be interesting, man. Like, breaking this down, previewing all this. So we got that coming up right here. But for this one, we're gonna cap it here for the AEW recap show. But before we go, as always, Devin. Yeah. Tell the people. Let the people know where they can catch us.
Let them know. Yes, all the time. You can always catch us. Find us on the various social platforms. I will go down the list because there's a lot of them, but I will go down the list. We got Twitter. We got Instagram. We got Facebook. By the way, amazing Facebook group called the Clark Street Wrestling Community. 130 members. We're trying to get that 200 by WrestleMania. Yeah, we're on a timetable, but let's see if we can get there. So help us out. Go ahead and find it on Facebook, Clark Street Wrestling Community. Hit that join. We talk about all things wrestling, even outside things out of wrestling as well. We might, talk about the Snyderverse, universe out there. Debate, it might happen. You never know. But yeah, we would love to have you. And I cannot forget about TikTok.
TikTok.
Yes, our TikTok page. And there's only one website to see all those platform links and click on them. It's clarkstreetwrestling.com, ST for the abbreviation, where we have all of our episodes linked to our beautiful YouTube page. We have 115 subscribers and growing. Thank you for subscribing to our YouTube page. Thank you.
Yes.
Following us, making that transition, like I said, from audio to visual. So thank you. And also, cannot forget about our lovely merch site, clarkstreetwrestling.com.
Merch.
Yes, clarkstreetwrestling.com
Get your merch.
/store.
Get your merch.
That's right.
Get your merch. Get your merch.
I get bounced with it now.
Get your merch. Yeah. Get your merch. Yeah, get your merch.
Get your merch. Notebook. Get the tank. We got cups, glasses. Beach towels coming soon because the weather is slightly getting warmer now.
Getting there.
But Chicago that's where you get all 4 seasons around this time. All 4 seasons, but still we're in the month of March, getting close to April, but May, that's when you guarantee. So May. But beach towels are coming soon. Get ready for the pleasure of merch, of more merch.
Get your merch. All right. With that said, that is going to do it for this episode, this AEW just general discussion recap episode. So that's going to do it for Devin. I'm Hafeez. Catch you guys next time. Peace.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening to the Clark Street Wrestling Podcast.